Hey, what's up? My name's Alistair Cunningham and welcome to this week's show. Now, on this week's show, I've got a very special lady who I've been working with for a few years now. And I want to introduce you to Hazel, and I want you guys to pay attention to Hazel's story because it's actually really, really powerful. And what happened was, I started working with Hazel and she came to me for personal development. And the year of 2022 has been life-changing for Hazel. So let's hear it directly from Hazel so you guys can learn and benefit from it. Thank you, Hazel, for being on board. Introduce yourself. Come on, tell them who you are, what you do, and where you're from.
Hi, my name's Hazel. I hail from the northeast of Scotland, up in Aberdeenshire. I'm 40, turned 40 last year, and I am an accountant, but I specialise in business management and bookkeeping.
Awesome. All right, okay. So come on, talk to me. How long have you been down in England?
About 12 years now, 10 years in London and 2 years in Birmingham.
10 years in London?
Yeah.
I didn't know you lived in London.
Yeah, I lived in
Well, I
London.
knew you lived in London, but I didn't know you lived that long.
Yeah.
Where about in London did you live?
And Wembley would be my closest.
Fine, all right, okay. So I've been in a few places in London, but when I left, you know, I come from Callander, which is, you guys don't know this, but it's in between Glasgow and Edinburgh, it's in Scotland. I moved from from Callander to Finsbury Park, and that was like a shell shock and a half, that was. Us Scottish people tend to be a little bit quiet and a little bit sort of, I don't want to say it, but negative. As part of, they teach us it at school, okay? Not really, but they do. And we tend to have that trait. We're very sceptical, and I've always been like that. And you, in fairness, you're a little bit sceptical as well sometimes. Is it sceptical, was that fair?
Yeah, the sceptical, wary, kind of
Wary, yeah. Cautious and questionable, right? Okay. And we started working together. You came to me for property, but actually what you needed was personal development.
Yes, I tried the property since about 2018. I think that's when I first met you. And I tried and tried, didn't maybe try hard enough, didn't address some issues that I didn't realise I had. And then this journey took a different course than what I was expecting.
So, firstly, what were you doing in Scotland? Were you accountants up there?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in Scotland doing accountancy. You've got an apartment up there in Aberdeen, and that's rented out. And then you come down to the UK and you wanted to grow. Like, what's so wrong with accounting? Why don't you just stay being an accountant? Why do you want to get into property?
I love my job. I love the job. I love the people.
I've actually never met somebody that loves admin the way Hazel loves admin. Like, I don't know, I don't get it.
I don't know. I like it. I like being organised. It's just, I just get a buzz from it. So I don't dislike my job. I just would like some extra income coming in that would give me some more choices in life to then do things that I want to do. And
talk to me about these choices. What choices do you want?
The choices. So I suppose we moved out of London so that we could actually afford to buy a house. Okay.
So,
so that was
you're with your partner in London. What does he do?
He's a gas man or a gas engineer.
Gas engineer. So you're both earning really reasonably good money, but you moved out of London so you could afford to buy somewhere and start a family.
Yes.
Okay. So you're looking to start a family. That's awesome. Well done. Good for that. And you've just completed on your first property.
Yes, our personal property. So first house that we've bought, it needs a bit of work done to it.
So you've essentially bought a buy refurb for yourself.
Yeah, it's not as bad as some other people's refurbs that I've seen, but it's definitely outside the comfort zone of DIY for us both.
Okay, so what's how much did you buy it for instance?
286.
And what you got to do to it? How much do you think you're gonna have to spend on it to get it to a point? Is it a case of you're going to move into it and you're going to do the work as you go, or are you just going to get it done in one go?
It's a bit of both. So we're going to get a couple of rooms set up, done, dusted, and then we're going to move in and finish the rest of it while we're in there. Awesome,
great, good stuff. So that's a personal property, that's not a rental property, but the great thing being is it puts you on the market. So now, like, even getting lending for buy-to-let is going to be considerably easier because you've got a residential, which is always a big bonus for when you're doing this. So you came to me 2018, I taught you all about property, but you didn't really do anything from 2018 to 2000 and sort of, what was going on? What was happening?
It feels like I was studying for an exam and never sitting the exam.
Interesting, right, fine.
That's how because a course junkie maybe would be because I get into the room and I'm all hyped up, I'm in the zone, and then you kind of just get back to day-to-day life, and then anything would happen that would stop it or pause it, instant doubt would set in, and you'd start to think about, am I doing the right thing? Is it for me?
Is it worth it? Is it for you? So many of the people watching this right now, you'll be in a similar situation. You've been to many courses, and you think, yeah, I'm going to do this, and you're in the moment, you're there, you're hyped, you're ready. But then reality sets in. You get home, A couple of days later, you're back to your normal life, you're back to your normal work, and you're like, oh, is this for me? Is it going to work? And it's that risk element. So you went through quite a few, and then you went very quiet for a year or two. I didn't really hear from you very much.
No.
And then you popped up again. Like you popped up like out of nowhere. What was that all about? What gave you that motivation for the second sort of rising, shall we say?
So COVID hit. We just moved in the week before lockdown, and that was like Trainspotting. I don't know if you've seen that film. There's a mattress topper and the garden furniture.
Many years, yeah. I have seen Trainspotting many years ago. It's not the proudest film Scotland's ever done, but it's a good film.
Yeah, so it was like that for a few months. So my mental health took a bit of a downturn with that. Moving to a new area, didn't get to go out and about and meet people, things like that. Neighbours have been fantastic. Cannot fault my neighbours, they're amazing. And it just got me thinking again, right, now or never. You're 40 this year, Hazel. It's been a bee in your bonnet for so long. If I don't do it now, I need to stop. That's it, enough with it. So because I'd worked with you before, and I think there was an event came up, and it was in Birmingham.
Oh, okay.
And so I just popped along, and then
you come along to the event. When was it? June, July time?
It was end of April.
April, fine. Okay.
It was end of April.
End of April. We were at the Jury's Inn in Birmingham, and you were obviously in Birmingham. You came along, and you registered for my training there and then. You were like, I'm in. I've got to do this.
Yeah.
That's April, so that's like 8 months ago.
I know.
And like when I first met you back in April, I was like, okay, cool, Hazel's back, right? But you were still very quiet. You were very reserved. You weren't. I'm not going to sit here and say you were negative. No, you weren't negative, but you were very, like, just how can I put it? Just reserved. Like you're very much. You were there, but you weren't there. You were there, but you didn't want to put your hand up. You were there, but you didn't want to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
So is that a fair assumption?
No, it was a fair assumption. I suppose in the past I'd been fingers burnt before with people or events and things like that. So if you sit quiet and don't pipe up, then nothing more can happen.
Do you know what's funny? Ellen McDonald, she always says this to me. When she come to tell the world the first time, whenever I'd say, right, okay, who needs some help? Ellen used to always look away. She used to always look away because her theory was, if he doesn't see me looking, he won't come to me. But to me, that just tells me you need more help than anything. And you were the same. Like you were like, okay, if I don't put myself out there, he's not going to ask me anything. He's not going to whatever. And it's like, just stay quiet. And I used to do the same. When I used to go to events as a delegate, I would always be the one sat at the back of the room. Yeah. I would always be the one that as soon as the event finished or the break was there, I was straight out the door. I would never hang around. I wouldn't talk to people. I'm not interested. I was like straight out the door. Like the event would finish at 5. I'd be in my bedroom, my hotel room by 5:05, and I wouldn't even order. I wouldn't even go downstairs to eat in case there was other people there.
Yeah.
I would get room service, or I'd go out and go away from the venue and get like a drive-through or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was how I done things. And what got me out of my shell was all the personal development training that I've undertook myself as a delegate, and I've travelled the world. I've spent over $100,000 or pounds, whatever you want to say, because a lot of it's in dollars. But I've spent a lot of money travelling all over the world to learn just how to be confident and how to be myself. And obviously, you joined my training. You started coming along. You started getting involved, and slowly, bit by bit, you started to become Hazel. And I actually think that you are now a completely different person. I really do.
Yeah. I'll probably say I'm the happiest I've ever been.
That's awesome. That's awesome because that's worth more than money.
That's why, I mean, I haven't made any money from the property yet, but the difference in me it's been well worth it for that alone. So
one of my other students, Joe Nicole, I've been working with him for a couple of years now, and Joe, when he came to me, he wanted to learn property, but he wasn't ready to learn property. He wasn't ready to receive property. He had to fix himself, and he had to deal with his own sort of background and his own issues and his own problems that he was currently facing in order to move forward and receive what's about to come. Because what's about to come for you is going to be crazy, but you perhaps weren't ready to do it back then. So you have to go through this journey of personal development to get to yourself into a position of being ready to receive. So, what was the first training event you done with me after rejoining?
I rejoined, and I think the first one was Tell the World.
Was it?
It was, yeah.
I didn't know it was Was it really Tell the World? Yeah. That's like thrown in the deep end, that is.
That was very uncomfortable.
I thought you might have done like business intensive blueprint or something else. I didn't know you were straight at Tell the World. That's really interesting. So for those that don't know, Tell the World is my essentially speaker training, but also personal development training program. It's very much a combined program, and it's set built and it's designed in a way to push you to limits you've never been pushed at before. And I say it's a program that will reprogram you. And it's a training program to reprogram you into becoming the best version of yourself. But you knew nothing about Tell the World.
No, the people were vague, but then that's how you like to keep it vague. So it can pique your curiosity, but.
I like, for those that don't know, like, I won't tell you what happens at Tell the World. If you want to experience that life-changing experience, you have to come along. And we've got some amazing offers about Tell the World on Tell the World right now. And I highly encourage you, get booked on and attend. Because it's 4 days that will change your life. Yeah. But I also make sure that when you've attended, that you don't tell anybody what happens at Tell the World. Because I want that, what's the word? I want that, like, you know, that anticipation of what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen.
You like the fear as well, though.
Maybe.
You see everyone's faces and they're like, oh.
Yeah, maybe. But do you know, there's a lesson for that. Mm-hmm. Because, fine, some people come to Tell the World and they're actually a little bit scared of coming. And I'm like, great, so what else are you scared about in your life? Yeah. Because actually what happens in your life is most people are scared to do things, but actually when you do it, you realise how good it is. Yeah. So, okay, Tell the World. What happened for you at Tell the World?
So I've done Tell the World twice now. The first one, shock to the system. I remember some of the things we did just being very, very uncomfortable. Some of it I got stuck into straight away. It was more my kind of thing. But the variety that was there catered to everyone that had different problems
and issues
and things like that.
What was the thing that you got into? What was do you remember what was the thing that you really got into and that you were like, yes, I love this?
More the physical side of things.
Yeah.
I love a physical challenge. So that was definitely anything that went back picking at scabs from the past.
Yeah, you don't like.
Yeah, that was
not many people do
a few things I didn't realise I was hanging on to or didn't realise was affecting me until I said it out loud, and then it's like, oh, that was it. That's what was the problem.
It's always very funny because I'm there as a trainer to rip off band-aids, and often what you're doing is you're masking your internal problems, and that's what's holding you back. And I'm there to help you discover firstly what they are, and secondly discover a way forward so that you can deal with them. It doesn't mean you're forgetting about them, it doesn't mean you're disrespecting them, it just means that you can deal with it and that you can stop letting it hold you back. And obviously we go through lots of different processes at Tell the World. It is a very long and it's a very intense program, and there's also there's physical, there's mental, and there's emotional activities, and it's all done in a way to get you to become the absolute best version of yourself. So what was like the highlight from Tell the World for you?
The people, the environment.
Do you not find that you come as strangers but you leave as friends?
Completely. It's like you're stranded on that island for the 4 days. Yeah. And you've told your deepest, darkest fears and secrets too, and everyone else has done the same. So you bond in a way that you wouldn't bond as quickly outside that environment. It's
very interesting because I get a lot of people say, I can't make the 4 days, but I'll come for 3 days. And I'm like, no, you're not coming. Because I would never do it. I would never allow them to come in halfway through. And likewise, if you can't stay for all 4 days, you're not coming. Yeah. You're there or you're not there. Simple as that. It's very interesting you say about the people and about that bond. I don't know if you remember one of the first exercises I do. Where you all stand facing each other. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I do that on purpose for a reason at that point, because that breaks down so many barriers straight away. And I do that very much on purpose at the very beginning, or as close to the beginning of the event as possible, to build and break down all of your barriers and to get you to actually start to see more than just what you see. How did you find that exercise?
It was good. But yeah, it was
difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult. It's a very difficult exercise.
There's a whole range of stuff that caters to everyone's. What won't work with one thing, it'll introduce it to something that'll work later on.
I've had people come to Tell the World and they've got to, like Ryan Jessup, right? He come to Tell the World, right? The first time he ever come, he came because he had so many people go on about it. Yeah. He had so many people say that you've got to do it, just do it. You've got to do it. You need it. You got to do it. But he was like, well, what is it? And they were like, I'm not telling you. Do it, right? You all know Alistair. You know Alistair. You know that he's going to deliver. So just do it, right? And then Ryan came with his girlfriend Courtney, and I made them separate. They weren't allowed to be together all weekend or for the 4 days. So Ryan done his own thing, and Ryan said to me on the morning of day 3, and he come up to me and he was I don't know if you were there were you there when Ryan went had his massive breakthrough, or was it the
No,
month
that
after?
was the one before.
Right, it was the one after. Okay, so Ryan got to the end of that specific process that I'm referring to in the evening of day 2. Day 2.
It all blurs into one.
It does, yeah. Evening of day 2, there's a process that I do, which is about an hour and a half long. And Ryan said to me on the morning of day 3, after we'd done this process, he come up to me and he said, I'm joining your business academy. And I'm like, all right, okay, cool. Why? And he goes, because it's my gift to you. It's my way of saying thank you for what you've done last night. And that's genuinely, I never knew this. I never knew how serious he was about that. I thought it was just Ryan being Ryan.
Yeah.
But Ryan's an awesome guy, by the way. Yeah. But I just thought he was just being sarcastic, because he does come across sometimes a little bit sarky and a little bit whatever. But I actually found out just a few months ago, and I'd been working on the business academy for over a year. I actually found out a few months ago how important that session was for him. That session changed everything from him. And on the morning of day 3, he said, look, I'm joining your business academy, and it's to thank you for what you've done last night for me. And he said that was the moment in his life that changed. Yeah. It changed everything in his life for him. And it made him realize that actually he's the biggest problem. And he's now this year's done phenomenal. He's grown his rent-to-rent business. He's got partnerships, and he's becoming a lot more happier than he's ever been before. And I know Tell the World's done that for you as well. Yeah. I know you've done it twice now, but what was when you left Tell the World, when was the first time you done it? Was it May?
May, yeah.
May. So you done May. So you left May. You left the end of May. The event at the end of May. What was your when you were leaving, when you were driving home? Do you remember what you were feeling like? What was going on?
Exhausted.
Yeah, it's very tiring. I will say that.
High as a kite. Buzzing. I did it with my sister-in-law Nicola, and we were just back and forth. What about this?
Was that Nicola's first time?
Yeah.
I thought you done it once, and then Nicola came and done it the second time.
No. It was her first
right,
time.
I didn't know that. But Nicola really enjoyed it as well.
She did, yeah, absolutely.
And she needs to come back and do the next one. Maybe she'll benefit from that again. But you've done it twice and you benefited. So, all right, you're going home, you're buzzing. What was life like for you, Lo? Let's say you come back from Tell the World, you've got a couple of days of just rest, right? But then after that, what started to happen in your life? What started going on?
The focus started to sharpen. So just kind of pinpointing what do I actually want? I'm 40, right? What's not working for me?
Yeah.
What do I want? And just focus on that side of things.
Okay. So it's pure and utter focus. And did other people start to see a difference in you?
Other half, Robert had said focus, that was his thing.
Yeah.
He'd seen when I'd questioned it. He didn't say anything, I specifically asked him about it. And other people had just said I was more present in the room.
Yeah.
I was a bit more, I wouldn't say leery was the word, but I wasn't shy and piping up. And
no, you were now Hazel. You were now like, hey, I'm here and you're going to take me seriously. Yeah. That's what it done for you. I've seen it. All of my staff have seen it. Yeah. All of the other people in the business academy, they've seen it. Suddenly you've become the Hazel that doesn't, when the event finishes at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever time it finishes, you used to be, I'll see you later, see you next time. And then you go home. Now you're like, okay guys, what's next? What are we doing now? Where are we going? What are we having for dinner? What are we doing? And you're very much part of the community. And you're becoming one of the academy members that you're just up there now. You're you've not gained the financial, but you've got to put yourself in a position from a personal development point of view that you're now ready.
Yeah.
You're ready for 2023. Yeah. And it's going to be phenomenal what happens. So much so, Tell the World helped you so much. You're like, Alistair, I'm doing it again. And I remember what happened, right? You weren't coming.
No, I wasn't.
And then
I didn't think I needed
the week before the event, I was running another event, and I was on stage, and in a break, you come up and said, Alistair, I'm coming to Tell the World. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, just tell Michelle.
Yeah.
Let Michelle know.
Zara says, you've done it twice. Do you need to do it twice? And she goes, do it. She just said, do it. So I signed up.
And then you come for a second time. So how was the second time different to the first time? Now, just so you know, as a Business Academy member of mine, you can come to all my training programs as often as you like within your period of time being on the academy.
So first time I'd seen a big difference. There was a few tasks on there that I thought I gave my 100%. There's a few I definitely didn't. But the second time it was like chalk and cheese. Yeah. It was like chalk and cheese, and that's when you felt the spotlight coming onto you from other people, kind of taking you a bit more seriously.
Interesting. And the reason being is because your container is now bigger.
Yeah.
So the first time your container was like a small teacup, now it's a bucket. And you can absorb more, you can take on more, because your 100% is actually, the level's gone up.
Yeah,
so your 100% is now a bigger 100%.
Yeah.
And it's part of personal development. You're ready to receive more. So that's awesome. Like, first time was good, second time was even better.
Yeah. And I'm going back to it.
I was just going to say, my question now is, are you coming back to the next one?
Definitely.
May 2023. That's when the next one's happening. That's 4 days. Listen, if you want to come to Tell the World, you need to let me know, because we've got some crazy offers on at the minute about Tell the World.
Yeah. It's definitely worth it.
What's been the biggest thing? We've been working together now, a lot closer now this year. So what's been the biggest thing for you?
Biggest thing, just being lightness of the shoulders, happiness. Dealt with a lot of things that I thought I'd dealt with or had shrugged off, and I hadn't.
Yeah.
And I've definitely just sorted my head out.
Awesome.
Got some things on the go.
What's you're part of the Business Academy. What's the Business Academy like?
I love it. Everyone is, I can't describe it. It's like going back to that Tell the World 4 days, the bond that you have.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with so many more people.
That's awesome.
I love it. And everyone's very willing to help. You've got any problems, there's always something from different areas that can help or suggest things. And even
awesome.
if it's not your expertise, they're learning from it.
Yeah. Well, you help a lot of people out with their accountants and their admin. You're my go-to person for admin for anyone that's struggling in the academy. You're like the official partner of Alistair Cunningham when it comes to admin and accounts and bookkeeping and things like that. All right. What would you advise people? Because there's going to be people watching this right now that are sitting there saying that they're sitting there thinking, yeah, I was like Hazel. What would you advise them?
What would I advise? Just do it. You've thought about it. And if you don't do it, you're always going to wonder what if. And the what ifs are the things that will haunt you rather than anything else. Yeah. It's been amazing, and it's still happening.
Yeah, it's still going on, and you're always welcome. You're not gonna get to the end of 12 months and we'll be like, Hazel, you're done now. See ya. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. What we want is we want you to keep coming back to the events. We want you to Tell the World. We want you at all the events, and we want. That's from my point of view. But from my point of view also, I want you to gain the financial credibility and the financial success, because you're a walking testament to when you sort out your head and you sort out your personal development side of things, you can then grow and get leaps forward in your life. So if you're watching this right now and you resonate with anything Hazel said, then you need to get in touch. You need to contact Hazel. Even how can they contact you?
They contact me Instagram, Hazel2069, Facebook, I think it's just Hazel Davidson, pretty boring. I'm an accountant after all, so what do you expect from it?
Yeah, just we'll put our details below in the box below, but reach out to Hazel and connect with her. Maybe if you're looking for a joint venture partner, if you're looking to do deals, if you're looking to do whatever you want to do, reach out to Hazel and I'm sure you can do something together. Now, if you want to come along to Tell the World, you need to let me know. There's a link below, that's for you to book a call with my team. We're doing a crazy offer at the minute on Tell the World, and it's going to absolutely blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind, but 4 days, you're going to blow your mind, and also the investment is the lowest I've ever made it, because I want to help as many people as possible. So make sure that you fill out the box below, get connected, we'll take it from there. Hazel, I want to thank you for being on board.
Thank you very much.
What's the goal for 2023?
2023 is financial freedom.
Financial freedom.
That's what I want. I've no, like I say, I enjoy my job. So it's not like I don't enjoy my job, but even my employers
do both.
Yeah, exactly. I want to prove that you can do both.
Yeah.
You do a job that you like, but have your side business that's bringing in just as much income.
It's interesting because I just done a video an hour ago before you got here with Sean, and he's done the exact same thing. He's working as a civil engineer. He worked a lot of hours, but he's also got a service accommodation business, and they're working side by side, and they're going to be doing phenomenal things. So Hazel, thank you. Guys, listen, if you want more information, the link is below. Get in touch, connect with Hazel, and I'll see you next time.